everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So today I want to continue working on my neutral coloured ephemera that I have cut from my book page snippet roll, and I wasn't really sure whether to turn the camera on because I wasn't really sure if you'd be tired of it, but I'm not, so I have turned the camera back on. So I've had a little play off camera. I wanted to keep going after I finished my last video, so I've just made a couple of more pieces and I really had some fun. I used a bit of sari ribbon up here and I ruffled at one end. I did intend on ruffling the whole thing, but I didn't cut it long enough, and I actually really love the way that looks. And the backing paper is that little pop of orange colour, is from one of the kits from JunkWithSteph that I was using for my mass making ephemera, and you will find a flip through of that in the folder where I share the mass making ephemera kits, so keep your eye out for that if you're interested in knowing which kit it's from. I think it was from one of the Terrific Tags kits. I think it was one of the backgrounds in that, but don't quote me. And I've also used one of Steph's labels down here over the top of one of the snippet strips that I did in a previous video. I think this was the paper and lace strip that I did, so that was really fun, and it was really quick and easy because this little image here came from the Vintage Music Sheets Volume 1 from JunkWithSteph, and I had that torn out. I'd used some other pieces on some of the previous ephemera that we've made, so that was super fun, super quick. And then this one here, I actually love the way this has turned out. I'm hoping it's coming up in camera okay. This image here I think was from, oh, I need to check. It was one of the kits that I used in my last video. I believe it's from the Ads with Age kit from JunkWithSteph, and when I fussy cut it, I was like, that is calling out to me to be a pocket, and I've used some of the fabric that I dyed and I've shared in a previous video, and I've just used one large piece and then a couple of smaller pieces, and I decided that I loved it as is. I'm not going to do any more with it. I think that's gorgeous. I will do some stitching around each of these, but aside from that, I really love the way that turned out. Okay, and the last one I have to show you is this little journaling card or tuck spot. I think it would be a really beautiful tuck spot actually. I've used one of Steph's large butterflies from one of her butterfly kits. Again, all of my kits that I use for JunkWithSteph are shared as flip throughs before I start using the kit. So if you were to search my name, which is the name of my channel, and JunkWithSteph or JWS, you should find the flip through videos. There are playlists, so be on the lookout for those. So one of the large butterflies from one of her butterfly kits, one of her labels, and then I've layered up, I have some calico underneath, I have a little bit of burlap, which is actually from a sandbag, and I shared that in one of my recent collecting and gathering videos, and a little piece of curtain lace with one of Steph's labels over the top, and I love that. I just love those little hints of colours with all of those neutrals going on. So pretty. Okay, so let's get busy. I'm ready to create. So I'm tucking those pieces of ephemera on my sewing machine, ready to sew around. And I have this piece of music paper here that I've pulled out before I've turned the camera on. I did also grab a couple of other little bits and pieces, but I'm not sure I'll use them at this stage, so I'm not going to show you. I just want to get busy creating. I don't know which of these I want to use, so I'm thinking journaling card or tuck. And again, I'm thinking a tuck would be really fun. I really love this image, and it is a little bit bigger than I realized. I think it's too wide for that, so it's going to suit one of these better. I'm just going to tear this out. So this is one of JunkWithSteph's kits. It's the Joyful Jaunts kit. And I've printed it onto tracing paper. And this bordered frame really spoke out to me when I was deciding which of the kits I wanted to print onto tracing paper. Oops. What a fun little piece that will be to use on something. Okay, so yes, this little frame really spoke out to me and I knew immediately that I wanted to use it like this. So, okay. And I'm going to glue that over the top of the music paper. So before I do that, I think I want to, I haven't decided which journaling card I want to use. I think I'll wait until it's on the music paper before I decide. I'm so sorry, I've got my fan on again today. I was watching one of my previous videos while I was editing earlier today, and I had little bits creeping across my desk, and I was just like, it really does make it that little bit more challenging having the fan on, but it's so much more comfortable when it's on. And my only other alternative would be to not craft with the video on, and I'm not very good at that, so the fan it is, and I just have to chase my little pieces every now and then, if you bear with me. I so hope you will. Sorry, this paper is really noisy to tear, isn't it? So I hope you're all fabulous. I am. I'm excited to be in my craft room. I have spent a little bit of time this morning watching a couple of videos of other crafters, which is always so fun and inspiring, and it really, I don't know, there's something about doing that really invigorates me when I've spent the time to just relax and look and see what other people are doing. I just find it really, really inspiring. Now I need to be careful taking this out, because if you've watched my videos before, my little pin is, oops, my little pin has come loose from the head or tip of the, this is going to be a challenge, isn't it? I want to put some art glitter glue just around the edges. So I'm going to do those, and then I'll tackle the rest, I think. Okay, let's see if I can uncurl this. In my head this wasn't supposed to be this difficult, but you know, we all love a challenge every now and then. Okay. And I did share when I was doing this before, I did use the glue stick to create other ephemera, and I just went around the edges with that art glitter glue. It seems to really hold the edges down well, which is why I go to the trouble of doing that. I need to pop the lid back on my glue, and just getting my bone folder. Did chew up my glue stick, didn't it? Might need to see if I can rescue some of that glue off my glue book. I don't know if you've ever done this, but if I unwind my, or wind my glue back down and just scoop up the pieces, it saves them in there for the next time I use it, and I'm not wasting so much. Okay, so which way around? So using the art glitter glue, I do get a little bit of wrinkling around the edges, and I actually, it caught me off guard when I did it the other day, and I'd forgotten that it did that. And initially I was trying to get those wrinkles out, and then I was like, it actually makes it look more aged, so I really like that. And it does settle down as it dries as well. Okay, my ruler is stuck to the glue. It's really stuck down. Just trimming that tiny piece off. And I'm going to ink around the edges. Just hiding that white edge. Now the reason I backed it is because I'm going to pop it on here, I think, as a second pocket. So I think I will glue around here and have a pocket at the top. I may even center that, I think. Just want to see which one. I like it on both. I think I prefer that one. I do have another one here, but I think my decision has been made, and it has. Okay, so I'm just deciding whether I would like a little piece of fabric across the top to perhaps reinforce that. A piece of sari silk. It's not quite the right shade though. Not sure if I just want to check the shade of green in this set here. It's kind of pretty. I should have opened up this before I hopped on camera because I really struggle with them. Okay. I'm aware that there's an art, but I haven't quite mastered it yet. I think I really like that piece there. Okay, so just cutting a piece out, and I might make it the whole length because I'd really like to have some of these pieces available to me in my little scrap basket. Otherwise I forget to use it. I forget it's there. I've had this for a little while now, and I just don't think to check that resource, which is why I'm still looking at storage options for my craft room. And I've been chatting with Susan Taylor Brown because she had some really fun little containers that she uses in her crafting. I'm going to see if I can unpick this stitching rather than cutting that away. Some really fun little containers that were stackable that I watched Susan's live just recently, and I said to her that I've kind of been stalking her video where she shares them, which is one of her earlier videos. I've watched it over and over and over, and I think it's partly because I'm just sort of wishing and hoping and dreaming that I have them here already. But I've kind of been trying to work out what sizes I might like and which of the options are best suited for my needs. And I do want to thank Susan because I did message her to ask her a couple of questions, and she was ever so sweet in answering, which I'm really, really grateful for. She's such a lovely sharer. And then, of course, trying to work out, because we're in different countries, how I can find something either the same or similar that's accessible for me. And in the process, I've learned all about Amazon Prime, which I had no idea about, and one of my really lovely family members has opened my eyes to that, so that's got me thinking. Just trimming that piece off. It's got the stitch marks in it, so setting that aside. kind of thinking I want, making this bigger than I need it. Like I said, I'm not used to working with sari silk yet. I've not had much of an opportunity to play with it. So I'm hoping that this will work as a half piece. I love the way it tears though. And I love these little stringy pieces. And I don't love the way it sticks to my fingers when I try and use it. So that's taking some getting used to. I'm keeping these little tiny pieces. I have no idea if I will use them, but the hardest part is getting them off my fingers. I should tear the sari silk when I first start crafting so I don't have glue on my fingers. Okay, and then I'm going to use my fabric glue. And I'm going to add glue across the top. And I'm going to glue it over the top. Need to bring my glue down. And I'm going to work from the center. If I can get a hold. Okay. Okay. So just trimming those little wispy pieces away and trimming the edges. My paper is curling, so just running it across the edge of my desk. Sorry, I'm probably off camera, but I just find that I can flatten out my paper by doing that. Makes it more manageable, unlike the strings on my fingers. Okay. I love that. So I'm going to sew across the top. I don't know if I can do this on camera. I can't do it on camera, but I can hopefully do it quickly. Okay, so I will share with you, it wasn't as quick as it appeared on video because things just never go to plan, do they? Okay, so I really love that. And I'm going to glue that down now. Trying to decide which glue to use. I think I'll use my fabric glue. Actually, no, I think I'll use the art glitter. It'll dry a bit quicker. Yep. May add a little bit of fabric glue to the top where that Oops, sorry, silk is. If I can stay on the paper, that would be good. I'll see how it, actually I won't worry about it because I am going to sew around the edge, so. I'm just pressing that down. Because it was wanting to lift, so by turning it upside down, the desk craft mat underneath kind of holds it in place, and I don't have to try and have my fingers looking like an octopus trying to hold all the areas at the edges down. It's taking a little bit longer to adhere that fabric. Okay, so what do I want to embellish it with? Okay, so I have the Eclectic Ephemera kit here from JunkWithSteph. And I'm going to add that there if it will adhere well. This is printed, I believe, 4 to a page. And I'm just going to do 2 sides and turn that into a little tuck at the front. Oops. Oh dear. I went to say it's slipping and next minute I knew I had a song in my head. I cannot help myself. Oh, and there's another song. Oh my gosh, I'm on a roll now. Look out guys, it's going to be one of those videos. Okay, so this is going to be a tuck, I've decided. So a side tuck with a pocket with another little tuck at the front. And I really, really love that. And do I want, actually, my little scrappy piece that had the holes in it. Let me see if I can tear that in half. Oh, that tear. Going to see if I can adhere it like a little bow. Don't know if that will work very well. I do wonder if I want a little scrap of white perhaps underneath. Here we go. This tiny little scrap here. Oops, scissors. I'm excited now, can you tell? Doesn't take much. I think that will work well. It's funny, the last couple of times I've played with these, I felt like I've had to And even in previous videos, I felt like I need to pump out lots of ephemera in one video, and I forget to just play and create with what I'm working on. Or I don't feel like I should allow myself the time to do that. So I'm trying to tell myself it's okay if I don't create lots, but I'm really happy with what I do create. Which, for me, means just taking my time to play, because that's what I love to do. That's the joy for me. So if you're looking for fast and easy ephemera, you may not find what you're looking for here. I hope you do. I hope you allow yourself time to play, and you remember that you don't need to put pressure on yourself while you're creating. I want some glue under there as well. Okay, and now I need some sort of focal point to go over that. And I have here some little pieces of burlap that were taken off the, they were pulled from the outside of that little piece when I was making that. Okay, and I want some, gosh, I'm really in the mood to play now, aren't I? So this is my little, oops, my little container of thread, and I need a clip of some description. Just need to get the clip over the top. Just trying to, whoops, too far. Trying to pull it as close to the top as I can. Okay, now what do I have in here? Lots of tiny threads. So these are collected when I am sewing, and I cut threads off what I've sewn, and they're collected when I fray fabrics, which are a lot of the different colours that are in there, and of course my beloved calico. So actually, if I just wrapping, and I'm going to see if I can tie this in a knot. It's very small. Okay, so I might unwind it one. And where is my, I keep this little tray of bits and bobs next to me, and I usually have a paper clip that's hooked at one end. Is it still in here? Please tell me it is. Here we go. So this little paper clip here I find really easy when I work out which way I have to go. Oops. I'm kind of wrapping the wrong way or something. Hang on. That little thread is throwing me because it's really tiny. I'm quietly telling myself that this will be worth it. There we go. That's all I wanted. I just wanted it to knot. I might see if I can do it this way. That's why I keep that. Sometimes it's exactly what I need. And it's kind of reminded me of a butterfly. That was totally unintentional. Going to pop a little bit of glue where that knot is, just to hold it in place. And I'm gluing with the knot at the back. Oops, I went to put that on my glue bottle. Okay, just holding that down while it dries a little bit. Excuse my arm. That jar sits on my new shelving, on the bottom of my new shelving, so it's within arm's reach, and it's just so lovely to have it there. Okay. Well, isn't that fun? I love that. So I'm going to sew around the outside, just probably with a straight stitch, just to finish that off. And I really, really love that. Super fun. Okay. Feeling inspired. What do I want to play with next? Okay, so I'm going to play with one of the bookmarks. It's actually the last bookmark that I had prepared. And I'll turn it around that way, I think. And this is one of the papers from the Iris kit, JunkWithSteph Iris. And I really love this here. So I'm going to see if I can tear this out. Got glue all over my fingers. How fun. Okay. I'm thinking I'd like to keep that tape. going to see if I can just tear that roughly. Fraction more. And then the same on this side. And hoping this fits. I might bring it in just a fraction on this side. I think I can get away with that. Oh, isn't that perfect? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so inking. Just wondering what I want to layer it with. I'm going to try this cheesecloth. Still a little bit wide, I feel. Didn't think that would tear. Okay, so I don't need all of that, so I'm going to tear that from the bottom. Maybe I can just fray it and trim it. Oops, that's coming from the middle, never mind. Goes that way. Out there. Going to lock that in. So this is a cheesecloth fabric that I get from Spotlight here in Australia. A little bit more at the top here. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to lock this in after I stop throwing my glue bottle around. And because this is on paper, I'm using the fabric glue, but I'm going to add a reasonable amount to this. I know it looks like a lot, but when I squeeze this glue at the moment, there's not a whole lot coming out, so kind of leaves a trail, but it's almost drying as quickly as it hits the item I'm putting it onto. Okay. And I ended up with my black at the top. Never mind. I always like to have the black at the bottom because I feel like it grounds whatever I'm working on, but that's okay because it'll just make my mind think differently. Okay, what do I want on there? So again, I have the eclectic ephemera. I love these printed 4 to a page. They're just really fun to layer with. Don't mind that. It's kind of taking away from things for me. I don't mind that down there. Just want one of these little tickets. I think I like that. That works for me. And I don't know if I want something at the top. No, I think oh, what was that? Where did that go? Something just caught my eye and now I don't know where it went. Come out wherever you are. I think it's gone. It's disappeared. Oh, it's kind of like that. Okay. So they are from Eclectic Ephemera. And I'm just looking at the red here. So here I have labels from Flashcards Ephemera kit from JunkWithSteph. I'm just pulling out the red ones and a couple of others. I'm wanting to look at the red. The best is yet to be. I really like that. Oh, I like that up there. Okay. And so down the bottom, actually, so I have these little number labels from Shabby Dabby Doodah, and I thought the red might work, but it's kind of a brighter red. I don't mind that actually because it draws that black out. So I think that's it. Okay, I'm going to use my glue stick, and I have that little bit of glue at the top that I pulled off my glue book page. So just going delicately with my glue stick because I really don't need anything other than that. It does sit very loosely. Just going to pop that at an angle, I think. And I do want to lift those threads out. There we go. And I might use my art glitter glue. My glue bottle just thanked me for pulling that off. Just mopping up a little bit of the excess glue that I have. Oh dear, and I've lifted a little piece off that label because I had glue stuck to my finger. So I'm just adding a little distress ink just to blend it slightly. I need to keep my fingers off the images when I first put them down. Yep, pretty happy with that placement. And I do feel like I want a little piece of lightweight cheesecloth under that label, just to lift it off the page a little bit. This mess I have here, goodness me. And I was just like, I don't know whether I want to. I just toss my threads to the side and they end up caught on everything till I clean them up. I'm not really sure if I want to sew around that. I probably will because I do like the sewing, but I think I could leave that also. That's really fun. A little bit different, which is fabulous. I'm wondering if No, it's just tacky there, but I think it's just because the glue hasn't dried. I love that. I really, really love it. I'm going to fray that just a fraction more because I can, and I'm just going to trim those little pieces, and perhaps on this side as well. Too fun. Okay, so popping that on my sewing machine, I'll decide when I do the sewing whether or not I want to sew around that. How am I going for time? Okay, it looks like I need to stop my video there, which is a little bit sad because we've only really created 2 pieces of ephemera, but I really, really love them. I'm so happy with them. So I wanted to say thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed watching me create. Okay, everybody, so a huge thank you to Steph from JunkWithSteph for allowing me to showcase your beautiful digitals. I mean, look at what they're creating. It's just gorgeous. So thank you, thank you, thank you for trusting me to do that. And I would love to thank you all for joining me. I so hope you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you all soon, everybody. Please stay safe, stay inspired, and happy crafting. Bye for now.